Heat from fire, fire from heat. So what a stream that was today. Finally announcing Gloomhaven 2nd edition, which is something I've known about for a while, but oh my goodness, I'm so excited to be able to share it. But there's been one thing I've seen in the comments of not just Twitch and Reddit, just everywhere. Will there be an upgrade pack? Like, take a look here, and here, and here. In so many places. Okay, we get the point, but we already have an answer. The answer is no, there's no upgrade pack. And then some people are asking, why? Why don't we have an upgrade pack? We have this game already. I have this. I even went to Michael's and sorted it with myself with this do-it-yourself little organizer, and it's very helpful. And stuff like that my friends say, this is why you're single. It's not very nice, I'm just organized. So why is there no upgrade pack? We already have this fun stuff. We already have this game. What's changed so much that we cannot possibly have an upgrade pack? So let's break it down right here, right now. We're going to go through everything in the box. We'll see what can be used and what can't be used. We'll see why on earth they even came to that conclusion anyway. Remember to like, it does help the channel out. And also, be sure to subscribe because I'm going to be doing lots of Gloomhaven 2nd edition. It's going to have a different box, but you know, you get the picture, hit the button. So, first thing we're going to, this is much heavier nowadays. So the first thing we have here is the map. As you can see here, that's a fairly fresh map because this is my third Gloomhaven campaign that I've done with this. And I obsess over this game a bit too much. But whole point is we have an entirely new map. Looks really, I love it actually. The aesthetic's really cool, and it really it still gives you the idea of the surrounding area, and ultimately I think it's really great looking. So we obviously can't use this, so maybe I shouldn't be throwing them. Anyway, we don't need the map anymore, which probably means we have whole new stickers. With the new map, we're gonna need new stickers, so these can be tossed as well. We are getting an updated rulebook, which includes some of the things we've learned from Jaws and Frosthaven, but it's just a couple of updates, including introducing some new status effects too. So we're gonna need a new update rulebook anyway, as well as handling differences of the new things that were discussed in the stream, such as handling that increased difficulty component, which is a thing we can do. I won't go into detail on it, but ultimately we're gonna need a new, thicker rulebook, and maybe one that will explain in better detail how monster behavior works, because oh boy did people screw that up. Anyway, we don't need it. The campaign is so different. See, here's the dealio. We have a wonderful campaign book right here. It's in great condition. As you can see, some of the pages are slightly falling off, and that's because I've played this game too much. But on the other hand, we are going to need a new campaign book because the campaign's completely being overhauled from start to finish. From the encounter to the Black Barrow, and Isaac was even making statements about doing some slight rewrites on the Inox lore and changing some of the plot elements that were a little bit problematic. That's really important. And improving the finale, like they mentioned on stream. Ultimately, there's just a lot that goes into this that the campaign's gonna feel like a new thing. Several scenarios are entirely rewritten, and the whole campaign is. And it's so fun. So even changing the contents of stuff, it's really gonna feel like a brand new campaign. Even if the plot beats are the same, it's really the scenarios that make it feel unique. So we don't need this anymore. That's still so heavy. Do we need tiles anymore? The answer is yes. And they are actually reusing some of these tiles, which is nifty. But here's also a thing. They actually have announced that alongside, we are gonna get a Jaws of the Lion scenario book to go with the new Gloomhaven. So we'll be able to actually just play it with the rule book. We'll just set it out, and it saves all the setup time. Don't worry, it'll still have tiles. So if you want to make your own custom scenarios, you'll have the tiles to be able to do that, which is super fun. But at the same time, if you're like, hey, that's not my jam, you'll have a scenario book, and you can set those out with the section book. And oh boy, you'll be able to skip all this. So ultimately, I'm not going to need any of this anymore. Why is it so heavy? But wait, there's more. This is 3D terrain in a Ziploc bag. And I haven't painted it yet because I'm really lazy. Condition tokens and elements. Well, the gold coins are reusable. So, we got that. Although the damage tokens were done better in Frosthaven, so I'd much rather have those ones with the 3s instead of the 5s. And we don't need to summon things anymore because they're getting replaced. And some of these other doorways and obstacles we're not going to need, but we could reuse the condition tokens, but we're going to need to get condition tokens anyway with the introduction of new conditions. So most of these need to be replaced. So, well, we can keep the coins though. So if you have like a coin upgrade pack from like special coins, you can reuse that, the monsters, and some of the terrain. But we're not actually going to need, but all the monster cards, the monsters are getting a revision. Some of them, they're having cool new status effects that they get to inflict on attack. Some of them are really, the monsters are getting revision, and not just in small ways. And if you even saw in Jaws, and then in Frosthaven, several monsters like the demons all got some rewrites, imps got rewrites, and ultimately all the monsters are just getting rewritten, which is going to be super fun to learn some of their initiative changes again, which is, the rest of my group doesn't care. They don't pay to monster initiatives, only me for some reason, and they wonder why they keep getting it. Should really listen more. Anyway, we don't need this anymore. These class tuck boxes. We definitely, oh crap. All the classes are getting redone. So we should just throw all these out. And not only are they getting redone, but huge amounts too. We've already seen some of the changes. And even then, some of the minor changes like we saw in the Mine Thief and the Tinkerer are big. The level 1s are tangibly familiar. You can clearly say that almost every card was touched. So what's that mean? That means all these are useless. And they probably have already changed the attack modifier decks, the perks and everything. We're just gonna have to take this whole thing out. It can't be used anymore. And then for anyone who followed any of my content and talking about Gloomhaven tier lists with the characters, the variants of all over the place, this is the box that needed attention to balance. If you looked at like my commentary on Jaws the Lion, I kind of felt like they were all roughly in the A-B tier. Nothing felt super weak, but nothing was overpowered. And even then the most powerful classes weren't even in the overpowered tier like with a couple of the others. So we need to keep the original classes in line with the new ones. And frankly, it's going to be wonderful to get that new, fresh experience with these classes with all their new ability cards. The miniatures. Yep, we're doing a miniatures campaign to replace all the miniatures, so all these are useless now. They're getting replaced with newer, better versions. Sorry. Just a shame, because I painted all these. I'm going to have to start over from the beginning now. These monster cards, certainly we can reuse these monsters, but all the monsters have changed. The bosses have changed. Everything, every one of these cards is different. So for that upgrade pack, we can't actually reuse any of these with a rebalance. So we're going to have to toss those aside. When you rebalance all the scenarios and all the classes and all the monsters, I guess it makes sense that all those are out here. So then we have, this stack of items. We're gonna I'm not gonna throw that. That's right, all the items have changed from numbers, from the numbers of the item to when you discover them, what prosperity, how you unlock them, even some items that are like kept behind reputations of the different factions and having to increase with a specific faction just to get these cool new items that are only specific to that faction. So instead of just like, well, prosperity went up, what do we get? You're like having to pick and have the agency of going like, okay, I went with this faction and now we get these cool new unlocks, and then maybe if we do this in another campaign, we'll focus more here or there and seeing how different campaigns are going to vary. That's so fun. But ultimately, rebalancing all the items, even the solo items, even the reputation, they're gone. But that's okay. Battle goals. So unfortunately, the battle goals are different in Gloomhaven. It's similar to Frosthaven and expanded. Thank you, Satire and your team, for completely revolutionizing this whole thing. You guys are amazing. Love you, Alexander. But we can't reuse these, sorry. Events. We don't renew those anymore. All the events have changed. All these big stack of events, they're different. They've completely been rewritten. So I guess we don't have to worry about like, hey, are there red and green berries, right? We don't have to worry if they're like red or green berries, right, guy? You're not gonna make us memorize if red or green. You know what, if you put an event in here that makes the red berries good, I will go to your house and give you a big hug because I can't threaten violence here on YouTube. Ha. Okay, now we're done. So the rest of this, oh crap. Personal quests. Personal quests have been completely redone too. So we can't use these anymore too. So we'll have to get those in an upgrade pack too. So this is gonna be a pretty big upgrade pack, but I think we got it. Curses and blesses. They're reusable. Oh crap, we did it. We found it. Curses and blesses are you know what? Actually, we can reuse everything here in this box. So let's see what's left. Well, we could always upgrade from here. So as long as we request an upgrade pack with only the characters, the scenarios, the scenario book with the maps, the new rule book, the new monsters, the new monster book, the new items, the new personal quests, the new events, you know, all of the miniatures and all that, the new map, the new stickers. Once we get all of that, that'll be a good upgrade kit. So it's pretty obvious the differences between 1 and 2 are so substantial. An upgrade pack would just be an entirely new box. Unless you are really attached to these, you can reuse your old one. Maybe like, I don't know, got it autographed by Isaac and Essenspiel or something like that. So maybe you want to, I don't know. I don't know what you do with your little dials. The whole point is there's so much changes. The characters are so different and streamlined, but have multiple new build options that just make them so much more viable. The events are completely rewritten by Satire and team, and I think they're great. I honestly think all their work in Frosthaven, I love it, and I just can't wait to see all the changes that they've done to the events and story text in Gloomhaven 2nd edition. The monster revision is nice just because there's some really annoying ones, especially on like wind demons in Frosthaven that we got to see revamped. And seeing the new versions upgraded here, it's going to be a much better experience. The new rules is going to be nice to actually have it instead of like, well, we're going to use this rulebook except ignore this part, and this part because we're using that from this other game. Except for this part, we're not using that from that game, we're using that from this other game, Frosthaven. And trying to explain to new players like, don't look at the rulebook because the rulebook lies. Having an updated rulebook with everything is going to be great. Having new miniatures that are, you know, as much as I've loved Gloomhaven, and I'm like Gloomhaven's #1 fangirl, but the miniatures kind of suck. They're wonderfully designed, love the idea, but the quality's just not there. Frosthaven stepped it up a bit, and they've gotten a wonderful dude who's working on these. I've only seen one of the new sculpts, the Tinkerer. Looks great. Can't wait to see it in person. But with everything that's being revamped, this is more than just like a jump from like 3rd edition to 3.5. This isn't a like, well, maybe we can like make a few changes here and there to fix it. This is a complete overhaul. It's nothing's being retained. It's a complete new experience. And if you're like, man, I like Gloomhaven, but I don't want to play it again, it's not playing it again. Going through this whole new campaign feels fresh. And I know I'm mega biased as like the fan of Gloomhaven who's like, I'm gonna release multiple videos a month because I love it so much. I'm such an Isaac simp. And Senpai has noticed me. But it's a whole new thing, getting to play the new classes, getting to try the new experience, getting to learn the new monsters, getting to play the new personal quest, discovering these new items and everything that goes with it. It's fresh, it's new, and no amount of upgrade parts can give you that experience from your old box. I mean, yes, you can get it, but the replacement is the Gloomhaven 2nd edition box. That'll be on Backerkit on June 20th, so be sure to check that out. I'm actually really excited. I'm also super into RPGs, so I'm eager to show off a little bit more of the Gloomhaven RPG. I will be at Origins GMing for them. Old habits die hard. But I'll be GMing for them at Origins, so if you want to stop by and do signups, I'll be running some of the 2-hour sessions there for them. I'm really excited to do that. The new system does look better. They've refined it a few times, and I really think they may have actually hit their stride with this current iteration. I'm super excited about it, and I'm very happy to share it with you guys. So if you have thoughts on 2nd edition Gloomhaven, would love to hear them. Like, what are you most excited about? What are you most wary about? What are things that you're worried that they removed that you're really, really stuck on? I'd love to hear what's important to you. So share comments. Be sure to like. I know I said it earlier, but be sure to like the video, especially if you got this far in. I know you guys are all amazing, but thank all of you. But also thank you to my iNext tier patrons. All of you are amazing, and that's because, yeah. I kind of ran out of steam there. I don't know what to say now. So thanks all of you. You're all awesome, and thanks for watching.